Veranda L'Ni, known as Cleveland's tallest drag queen, is a notable drag performer, activist, and founder of the Cleveland chapter of Drag Story Hour. Recognized for her contributions to the LGBTQ community and her work promoting inclusivity and acceptance.
Highways of love. What's it gonna be? Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna go? Highways of love. Right there with you.
It is so nice to meet you, Veranda.
It's my honor to meet you.
It's my honor to meet you. No, I've been really excited to speak with you.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm happy to be on your show, and we got the memo, right? We got the memo.
We obviously are vibing. The funny thing is we did not know
Right.
what we were wearing. So I found it kind of funny when I saw you walk in.
Yeah.
You're so tall. You're so tall.
Well, I
and
mean,
you're so
seated.
majestic.
Oh, well, I am a queen.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Let's start here. Talk about the journey of Veranda.
Oof,
I know. That's
Veranda.
Veranda. How did
Yeah.
Veranda come to life?
Veranda, maybe she's always been in the back of my mind for whatever reason. I don't know what. But about 16 years ago, some local drag artists who went through, all the interesting things in life in the 70s and 80s and early 90s of drag. They saw me out one night and they're like, you can do drag. You just have this thing about you. You should be doing drag. And I'm like, I kind of poo-pooed it and didn't do anything about it. But about 4 or 5 months later of them just constantly hounding me, I did my very first show. And it was like this, why, my eyes were wide open. Like, it was like, ooh, this is a performative art that I didn't know existed. I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't know I could do it. And it was a great way to say, I always say it's my frustrated actor coming out. Like, I never had a chance to be on stage in that capacity. So I was like, I get to create something very unique and another part of my personality. And here we are 16 years later doing all these fun things all around town and different states and cities. And it's just amazing that this drag is the most creative art form in the world. You get to change your body, you get to change your look, you can change everything about yourself and be a totally different person. What's more creative than that? What's more artistic than that? And it's a medium that is just, I think, so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it allows you just to express yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel, and please disagree if I'm incorrect in saying that drag isn't understood the way it should be.
Correct.
Drag is stigmatized. It's frowned upon by some. I mean, I can only imagine what you deal with. And I wanted you on here today so badly to just explain to those that I feel are really just not informed of what drag is.
Well, I also think that the people who do not understand drag and do not like drag, or being told that they shouldn't like drag, don't realize that this is nothing new. This isn't something that just started, 10 years ago. This is something that's been around for the dawn of time. The ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, if you go back into ancient culture, drag was a part of their culture as well. It's not something brand spanking new. It's not someone decided one day, I'm just going to throw on a wig and some makeup and just go on stage. That's not what this is about. And for some, and it's very individual for each drag performer.
Okay.
It's a personal journey sometimes for them that it may be a step forward into knowing who they really are. And this is just a way to kind of get them to move into their own person. And for some, like for me, it's a performative art.
Yeah.
It's a way to get on stage and to kind of let that go, let that out of my system. And for some, it's really is about the LGBT culture. We're part of that LGBT culture. We've been there all along. It's nothing new. And that's what baffles me, as if this is some amorphous thing that just happened. It just happened.
Why is that? Why is there that?
I think because it's been put in the mainstream with RuPaul's Drag Race, and a lot of major mainstream outlets have been utilizing drag. Drag Story Hour has become a hot button topic for a lot of reasons, but for none at all, right? It's unnecessary. People's backgrounds and people's faiths, and I'm not disrespecting anybody's
No,
faith.
I understand.
They're being told that this is something wrong. This is something wrong with that person.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong with that person, and why do they have to do that? It's performative art.
Right?
And I also look back on the general public has witnessed drag in many facets and forms. They just saw it as a funny haha moment. It's Bugs Bunny dressed up as an Aida in the cartoons. It's Mrs. Doubtfire. It's Edna Turnblad in Hairspray. It's the Birdcage. It's Le Cage aux Folles. It's all these things that have been a part of our multimedia culture. We've been exposed to this for years. Why is it a problem now? And that's the most infuriating part.
I'm infuriated with you.
Yeah.
I am. And I want to change it. And that's why we're talking today and having this conversation.
And I appreciate that very much.
Is it hard for you to have this conversation right now? Do you feel vulnerable, or is this fine?
You know what? I think there's a little vulnerability there because you're putting your true self out there, right? And that's the title of your show. You're being authentic, right?
Veranda?
Right.
I get it. more than more. Yes.
And, I think personally for me, yes, there's a little vulnerability there. But that's kind of getting pushed aside every time I have a conversation with someone who wants to learn. And there are very few out there who want to learn about what this art form is about. It's easier to say, I don't like it, I don't want it near me, and I'm going to fight against it. So you're going to take all that energy to try and push something away when you can actually learn about it and understand it with less energy?
Nice.
and be a teacher and be someone. You don't even have to share it with anybody else. As long as you take in that knowledge and understand what it is, that's all that matters. We live a very short time on this earth. And for you to for people to have such hatred and have such vitriol against a single person or a single entity or a single group, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your lives? You're living an angry life for no reason at all. Leave us to our lives, and you go about yours.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would be
wouldn't
lovely.
that just be a lovely place to live?
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist.
No, sadly. But there are safe spaces, though, and I mean, there's a lot of wonderful people out there, all across the world, all across the country, even in our city here.
Yeah.
Who see this as a genuine art form and revere it and protect it and hold it dearly, and know what it means to say, it's okay for you to be on stage. It's okay for you to be in front of the masses. It's okay for you to read in front of children. It's okay for you to do these things because there's no harm, no foul.
Correct.
And that's where I gravitate, and that's where I go.
Yeah.
But I have to go into those spaces that are angry and upset because there's a learning curve there.
They exist. You see the comments.
Yeah.
How does that affect you?
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. You have to take the good with the bad. But I say you have to take the good with the bad in the sense of, is there constructive criticism there, right? To me, the bad is the constructive criticism. It's those little notes that someone's giving you to say, wow, you're great. I think you can be even better. I have a note for you. And that's great.
That's amazing.
To me, that's the only bad I want to hear.
Correct.
But when you hear all of the other just incendiary, I mean, I'm sure you understand, and the comments and the direct messages of life-threatening messages, it baffles me that
Do you get life-threatening messages?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had my life threatened. I've had.
Do you feel comfortable to talk about that?
Sure.
Without naming names,
I think
what are some of the things that you deal with?
It's needed. It's needed to be heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doxxed. I've had my address doxxed. I've had death threats. I've had going to burn my house down. We know where you live. We're going to come and find you. A couple of the venues that I work at, they doxed all the employees. They sent bum threats and the emails. You know, it feels like there's no length in which they're going to stop. They feel like these people feel like they're emboldened enough to make these claims. And as an entertainer, as a human being, right? And going in these spaces who have these wonderful people who work there and that's their livelihood, are now getting pulled into this black hole that's been created around me. I feel terrible that they're being sucked into this. I can take the heat. I'm a 7 foot tall drag queen. I think I can take the heat. But it sucks to know that these people are still out there doing this. And I feel just so bad for any entertainer in any industry that has to go through something like this, because there's someone out there who just finds it in their person to hate you so much with every fiber of their being that they want to make these claims that they're going to hurt you, they're going to find you. And it's not just individuals. There are groups that have come after me. Proud Boys, Christian nationalists. You can name all of those incendiary groups that are out there.
Mm-hmm. And by coming after you, they've written to you?
They've written to me. They've showed up at events. They've protested outside. They are, sometimes there's physical presence. Sometimes it's just, an e-presence, as I like to call it. But it's still there. And they're following me and they're watching what I'm doing. Now, 9 times out of 10, a lot of my shows, they don't care about. It's the drag story hour that really gets them in a tizzy.
Why?
Because what they see is a grown man in a dress reading to 3 to 8-year-old kids. And they think that what I'm reading is, well, guess what? You can be a drag queen too. And you can wear this dress too. The indoctrination, I've heard that term a million times, that I'm grooming kids to become a drag queen. I'm grooming kids to become a member of the LGBT community. And they all they see is that. They don't see the meat of the program. It's a literacy program. In a safe space, in an artistic space. Their families are there with their kids. They're not alone with me or the other entertainers. To preface, there's other drag storytellers that come and do this story hour with me. Mm-hmm. And we do go through the process of being vetted out. We do get background checks done on us on a yearly basis. We do make sure that there's nothing going on to kind of cover our butts. When someone comes at us and says, rah, rah, you're this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? We're not. I'm actually vetted out in a way that makes sense, right?
Right.
And this also allows the venue to have that information, to know that they're covered as well. And the books that we're sharing are books of happiness and sadness, and it's okay to like this color or wear this outfit or be whoever you want to be. And they get to take a book home with them. It's a literacy program, and that's all that it is, just done by a very colorful individual on stage. And seeing these beautiful kids' faces really helps drown out the negativity. But I have to pay attention to that negativity. Like you said, sometimes you have to read the comments.
Right.
You have to be present. You cannot let that slip past you, because you don't know who's coming for you.
You have to protect yourself.
Sure. I never thought I'd be talking to, the police. I never thought I'd be talking to an FBI agent. I never thought I'd be talking to individuals about my personal safety, when all I want to do is stand on stage and perform for the masses.
Right.
That's not my job. I'm not a logistics specialist.
And I think the story hour is so beautiful. I mean, to, first of all, read to children in this bullying, horrific world that we live in. I mean, what is the shame in that? Zero. Our kids are bullied at school. I've got 2 of them. I mean, I know what they've been through. And it's so hard. And so I think it's a beautiful thing what you're doing. And I have a little story for you. When I was 9 months sober, a friend of mine took me to the Winchester. And I had a blast. And I spoke on stage. And I danced with drag queens. And I was so happy. You know, I was accepted as who I am. I was treated kindly.
You know, your journey is powerful. Your journey is powerful.
Well, thank you.
And it hopefully will show those out there that you can move forward and you can continue your journey and you can continue to evolve. And it's not easy.
No,
It's
actually really hard,
it's not easy at all.
but it's worth it.
It is.
And with you, you know, it's a journey that you're on. I think we can say that we're all on journeys, whatever those are. We're all unique. We're all different. And I'm just really proud of you that you haven't let the death threats and the ugly words and the cynicism of the world get to you.
Well, there was a point. There really was a point. And this was not long after. We're coming up, I think, on the 2nd anniversary of this event in Chardon and Chesterland. We had a drag brunch and a drag story hour at the church in Chesterland. And it was met with a lot of vitriol, a lot of threats, a lot of everything. And about a week and a half, 2 weeks prior to the event, a Molotov cocktail was thrown at the church to try to burn the church down. Yes, because there was going to be drag queens there reading to children. And the unfortunate part about that story is it was a 20-year-old who decided upon himself to make Molotov cocktails and to burn this church down. Now, this led into a lot of, like I said, logistics things and safety things and all these wonderful meetings and stuff like that. But it felt like I was in some bad movie that we're being sequestered by these security people, and we've got liaisons and we've got handlers, and we're being moved from place to place and unmarked car. It was outrageous to do a stinking drag show. That was just wild. I still don't know to this day if we would have gotten through that had it not been for the support of my spouse, my husband. And we did sit down and we did have that conversation after the Molotov cocktail incident. And we were 2 weeks out. And my husband looks at me and he said, "When is enough for you to stop?" Kind of exactly what you just said. When is it going to be enough for you to stop doing this? Stop having a target on your back. And at that moment, when he said that to me, I then realized, wait a minute, the person I love is directly involved in this as well. And I didn't think about that. It was very personal. It was very me. This is my show. This is my thing, and I'm going to do this. But I didn't realize how much this is affecting him, and the emotions that he was feeling, knowing that I'm the one who's being targeted. And it was this epiphany, and it was also a very strong emotional conversation that we both had. And when we got done, we both realized that if I decided to stop doing story hour, doing shows, or doing whatever it is that was family friendly, which is what they're against, then they've won.
Yes.
And what does this look like, having a target on my back that is now essentially a target on our lives and our livelihood in our marriage and in our home. And, we thought long and hard about it, and we thought about our own safety. And what does this look like for us? And how do I get from point A to point B being safe? And how do you feel about being there with me? And it was a great heart to heart. It was probably the most emotional thing that we've had since our marriage.
I love it. Thanks for sharing.
And that's tough. I'm feeling it because it just, it brings
thanks for
back,
sharing.
It brings back those emotions, those strong emotions.
But in summary, you decided you were going to keep going.
We're going to keep going. We have to keep going.
Yeah.
A little bit safer, a little more safety precautions, right? But we're still going to keep going.
You're not going to let it stop you.
Mm-mm.
And so I'm really, really empowered to be sitting next to you because I feel the same way about my journey. I'm never going to stop. And I know you aren't either.
Yeah.
And that's how you make a difference in the world.
Indeed.
And you are, Veranda, making a difference in the world.
And you are too.
Well,
don't ever not.
I appreciate
doubt
that,
that.
but this is about you. And you are. How long, I'll get back to more serious things, but can I just, for a minute, totally dork out on you?
Sure.
How long does it take you to get ready?
Oh my gosh. So it is a process, but usually just makeup alone.
Yeah, I want to do my makeup like
is
you
about
kind of. I'm not
2
gonna lie.
hours.
Okay.
It's about 2 hours of.
And you do your own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I think going into doing a show, there's this whole process. I think every artist has, right? And I think even as a journalist, as a meteorologist, I think you had a process as well because you had to get ready for what you were doing to be on camera. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing going on stage. It's a day-long process for me. It's the music and the outfits and the jewelry and the hair and
it's kind of like you get yourself into the mode.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. So,
I get that.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun to sit and think about what am I going to create today? Because like you said, tomorrow it's going to look very different.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like this. I don't do the same thing.
Are the different looks of Veranda different meanings for Veranda?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also venue dependent too. And my audience, who am I talking to? It's just fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
It's like having my own costume shop.
That's a really
in my closet, right?
Not gonna lie, kind of jealous. It's fun. And see, this is the whole point. You are having fun.
Oh yeah.
Enjoying life, making people happy when you entertain.
I'm very empathic. I feed off of other people's energy.
I do too.
Definitely.
For sure.
And working an audience, working a crowd is just so much fun in just pulling that energy in and running with it. And I was told a long time ago, if you're going to go on stage and you're going to speak in a microphone, you never talk at your audience. You talk to your audience.
Correct.
And if you're going to say something mean or debasing, you say it about yourself. When you become self-deprecating and then you laugh about it afterwards, it means it's okay for everyone in the room to laugh. And they can laugh with you. And that was a great lesson on being an entertainer and being an MC for events, is the self-deprecation really settles the crowd. And it doesn't feel like they're uptight, like they can't laugh. Like if it's too serious, then I make some quip about how tall I am, and everyone just chuckles. And it's now we've lightened the room,
yes.
Right? It's a skill too. It's a skill set.
100%.
Yeah.
Like you are a presence, and I mean that in a great way. You walk into a room, and that's how I was when I saw you today.
You can't miss the giant lady in the room.
You can't. You are a presence.
Yeah. Well, naturally I'm 6'7".
Is that all?
That's all. Just that alone.
Yeah.
But then you add the hair and the heels and the fun, and I'm over 7 feet tall, and it just becomes, you can't hide it.
Yeah.
Amplify it and just own it. And I say to anybody of any size, own who you are and walk in the room with your head held up, your chin up, and you're going to own the room.
Yes,
because they're going to take notice of you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all you can be.
You're a light.
Yeah.
You're like an orb.
I'm am a shiny bright
You
light.
are a shining star riding a unicorn. That's what you are.
Yeah.
You're kind of corporate America too, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, this is a job. To me, this is a job. I mean, I have a production company. That's how I get booked. That's how I do things. I have contracts. I learned a long time ago that people will take advantage of you if you don't have the knowledge of what it means to be on stage. And it was just learning there's a business behind this. And yes, guess what? When I go home and I get in my car and I finally get home, lashes off, shoes off, hair, everything comes off immediately. I can't wait, right? Because this is a job. This is a persona.
I just see.
You can see it?
100%. Because I mean, I think we all love that.
Yeah, you
at
see
the
my
end of the day.
cats like, what's going on? Yeah.
Veranda, where'd you go? Yeah.
It's so wonderful to know that this is something I get to do. I never thought I'd be able to do.
And here you are.
And here I am. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Dreams come true.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And no one can take away those dreams.
Nope. They're
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. What was your abruptly authentic moment?
You know, I can say there's several that just
Yeah.
kind of hit a mark for me.
Tell me about a few that are most impactful.
I'm going to say, obviously, the first one was stepping on stage for the first time. You know, that was a light bulb moment, right? It was, wow, I can actually do this. Someone saw something in me and nudged it forward, and I didn't see it, but they saw it. And that was a moment, right? That was an authentic moment of self-discovery. The first time, and I'm kind of keeping it in the drag realm here, but the first time I stepped on stage to read to the kids, because I was very scared of, are they going to like me? Are they going to be afraid of me? What are the parents going to think? And it was just all these things were going through my head. And the minute I sat down and I cracked open the first book and I started reading, and they all sat there and did this. And I saw these cute little beaming faces looking at me. And it was like a sigh of relief. It was that all the weight was taken off of my shoulders of all this pressure I put on myself. But it was looking at those little faces that didn't care who I was, didn't care that I was wearing pink hair or that it was a boy in a dress. And I did have a cute little one come up to me and go, very quizzically, as kids are, you know, out of the mouths of babes, right?
Yeah. I know.
And she looked at me and she goes, with her pursed lip and her squinty eyes, like she's trying to figure it out. And she goes, "You're not a girl." Very matter of fact, very pointed. Mm-hmm. And I looked at her square in the face. I said, "You're right. I'm not a girl." I said, "But isn't this dress fabulous?" And you know what? It checked a box for her.
Yeah.
That because she's like, "Yeah, it is." And she skipped off.
Yes.
And walked away. And it was just those fabulous cute little moments.
I love that moment.
Yeah. And that was worth all the worry and all the speculation and all the things that was going on in my head to have just this cute little young one go, "Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done."
See? Authenticity is what's that.
I wish adults would take that into consideration.
Can we have adult reading hour, please?
I do have adult story hour. That's a lot of fun too. But no, you know, I think those moments are fun.
I love that. That's a good one.
There was one other moment in time that told me that I cannot believe I get to do this for a living. And it was the opening ceremonies of the Gay Games in 2014. And me and two other local drag performers were pulled in to actually open
I think I covered that
the
actually.
Gay Games. We opened the actual opening ceremonies of the Gay Games. Now, we're in what was then Quicken Loans Arena.
Yeah.
And
The Q.
the Q. We'll always, we're Clevelanders. It's the
I'm
Q.
like, no, I know.
It's the Q and the J.
I know. Yes.
That's
Thank
what
you.
it is, right?
Yeah.
It's the Q and the J.
Yeah.
We went through rehearsals and costume, fittings and all these great things. And I don't think we realized how big it was until we were told we have to go stand on cue, on mark, and get ready for our cues to do our number. And when we finally stepped out on stage into the bowl of 20,000 people, oh man, that really was like, I can't believe, and I mean, the three of us were just standing there, just holding on to each other, going, I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe we're doing this, but we are doing this, and we're doing it together, and we're doing it for a reason, and we're doing it to have fun. And we kept reminding ourselves that we were there because it was so scary, and it was so, oh,
So many eyes.
it hit a mark in my soul that I get to do this.
Yeah.
I made it here to this point in front of 20,000 people.
Yes.
With two of my drag sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. Like it really was a very authentic moment of, wow.
And thank you and grateful and
Yeah, super
all
grateful.
those things, right?
Super grateful. Because to me, it reminded me that we stand on the shoulders, some very broad shoulders of people who came before us in the LGBT community to get us to this point of having this Olympics, having this moment that we can all gather together from around the world in a space where we're all accepting of each other.
Yes. That is why I love the LGBTQ community so much. It really is.
It's just amazing that, and yes, there's all the infighting too that goes along, and I think it just happens anywhere. But for the most part, when we have to come together, we come together, and we come together strong and loud.
Correct.
You're messing with our livelihood. You're messing with our lives.
Yeah.
But that moment was just like
20,000.
wonderful. Oh,
I got
it was-
goosebumps like as you said it.
Yeah.
Veranda.
Mm-hmm.
Are you different when all of the stuff comes flailing off you when you get home? Do you change personality?
Yeah, and not a whole lot.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of me that transfers into Veranda, and Veranda transfers into me personally. But it wasn't until my husband looked at me and he goes, "Will you stop saying that, like a specific line or a specific thing, like all the time?"
Yeah.
I go, "But I've always said that." And he goes, "No, you haven't. Veranda says that."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, Veranda's me, and I'm free." It wasn't until someone else like brought it to my attention that there is that crossover. But I mean, I have a day job, and I do, I present differently, obviously, because again, this is a job. So I have other reasons to be myself.
Is it fair to say that it's a happy escape when you're in Veranda?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Again, I think that whole being authentic, abruptly authentic,
Yes.
as myself, not Veranda, I'm a happy person. But I mean, in my work life, in my professional life, in my home life, I'm always a happy person. I've always been that person who sees that brighter side of the coin.
So it's not like that person is miserable until Veranda happens.
No, I think Veranda amplifies my
Right.
exuberance.
Compliments.
Thank you. Veranda really does compliment who I am as an individual. And I get to get away with more as Veranda. I just say things sometimes as Veranda that I don't necessarily can say in real life, but that's the whole point of having a persona and being on stage. They're expecting some kind of irreverence and funny and silliness. Yeah, it does transfer a little bit in my personal world, but not as much as when I'm Veranda.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
What's next for Veranda?
Ooh.
Go big.
Oof.
We go big. Veranda, we're going big.
I am big. I mean,
But not tall. I mean, you are. Dreams. Give me.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams.
That will happen. That will come to life.
Ooh. I think I would like to take that frustrated actor bit of actually being an actor and just be as Veranda or myself and go on stage, but more as Veranda. I think there's something to learn being a stage actor in theater, or even just I've done a couple small little things here and there, and I got that little bug, like this is fun. I think my biggest dream, my biggest goal,
I know. I want to hear.
I've always wanted to be a game show host.
I love that.
I've always wanted to be a game show host. And I
The
think
actual host.
the actual host.
Okay.
The actual host. Not necessarily contestant, but just the host.
Yeah.
And I think this stems from all these. And I think we both can either relate to some extent, or I think most of your listeners may relate to this as well. But you know, when you were a kid and you were at home sick and you got to watch The Price is Right.
Yes.
Right?
And oh my gosh, the big prize.
Yeah. And just Bob Barker.
I wanted to be a Price is Right girl.
Yeah, you wanted to be a Barker's Beauty, you know?
I wanted to just be like, look at this microwave.
Isn't it gorgeous? It's a freaking microwave.
And just be in a gown.
Right. Yeah.
Be in a random gown.
And, you know, and it wasn't even being, I didn't want to be a Barker's Beauty. Like, I didn't want to be the model. I wanted to be Bob Barker. I wanted to talk to the people. I wanted to have fun with them. I think there's the
You
words
wanted to be like, come on down.
yeah,
You
I
are the
wanted to
next
do
contestant.
that. And I think with some of my shows, I've incorporated a lot of that game show host personality into what I do, because I just think I think game show host, that's a master class in crowd work, a master class in the human condition. They have to talk to people from all walks of life, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, no matter what size they are, it doesn't matter. You have to engage. And if you do it in a way that is just happy and friendly, and you've made their world.
Yes. I think of only happiness when I think of game shows.
Show host is crucial to you
Navigating it.
navigating that whole web of what it means to do these games and have fun and like ramp you up.
I love that.
You may be on there scared as a board, scared to
Like, yes.
do anything.
When it gets to my turn, well, I know the answer.
Yeah, but the game show host is there to kind of prop you up and bring that forward, bring that personality out. And I love that idea.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's like my top of the list. One of these days, and
It's gonna let's just say we're gonna manifest that.
let's manifest that.
Yes,
I want to be a game
like
show
this.
host.
Can I be your Vanna White?
Let's do it.
Okay, fine.
Let's do it.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. I just want to be in some glittery gown turning letters.
I'll lend you some of mine. How about that?
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
See, and dreams do come true.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I always believe that I lived or am living a charmed life.
Yeah.
I'm able to do
It's
things.
a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah. I'm able to do things that I don't think the average person would be able to, or step into spaces, or be a voice for those who may not have one. That's a very charmed life to me. That's knowing that you've filled a gap for someone. You've filled a void. You've given them a reason to keep going. And those are the messages that I love to read. Those are the messages that get us through the day.
Yes, they are. There's nothing better.
And those are the messages that have power.
What do you have to say to those watching right now that are completely against what you are doing?
There's a lot of emotion involved in that.
I know.
That
It's okay.
dialogue. And when just educate yourself. Let's talk about what it is. I love one-on-ones. I love sitting and learning from someone else. And I have sat opposite someone who said, I don't get it. I don't like it. But here we are. Let's talk about it. Give me a reason. If you can't give me a reason, then you're just spouting an opinion that someone else gave you. Learn. Take a moment to actually learn something about the person that you are so adamantly adverse to. Why? Why would you spend your life doing that? Learn something. Take a moment. And if we want to talk, I will gladly sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and have that conversation. It can be heated, it can be passive, it can be whatever we need it to be, but as long as you take something away from that conversation, you've learned something. I'm not expecting to change your mind, but I'm expecting you to take something away that you didn't know. That means the world to me. And I hope that the other person on the opposite side can teach me something. Because this is about respect. And a lot of times there's no respect on the other side.
And that's hard.
That's tough. And that's why I think it's so hard to say if I could talk to someone, and I have had conversations in various spaces. Some of it was great, some of it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could go back and say, hey, can we come on, let's sit down and talk. I would love to do that. And I can't change everybody. But if I can just change one person's perspective, just learn.
Yeah.
Just learn.
Thank you for, being so open and letting me ask difficult things, because I feel like we have to push through the difficult things to get to the greatest things.
And I appreciate it. I really appreciate the opportunity to share this moment, to share this knowledge, to share any of this. It means a lot, because sometimes we don't have this platform, and it's still, we're off into the wild. They don't know. There's access, but they don't want it.
Yeah.
But the more we can do it, the more we can be out there. Perfect.
You do so much for the community, which I don't know that others realize. So many charitable things. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Many years ago, I started Drag Bingo, one of the first Drag Bingo events here in town. And the goal was to just raise some money for a local LGBT nonprofit. And it was kind of a one-off deal. And it was like, okay, that was fun. Let's do it again. And it just kind of snowballed into this wonderful thing. And so Drag Bingo is my main charity arm that I have fun with, and proceeds go directly to local LGBT nonprofits that are small, that don't get the grant monies, that could use that couple $100s to help somebody or help them with their operations. But it's also, I've been on board of directors of like the LGBT Center of Greater Cleveland, a couple of other spaces. I'm also obviously an advocate for a lot of the nonprofit groups out there. So I'm usually there as a great visible, entity to help prop up these organizations. But I just love the fact that I can use my voice and my image to promote something positive in our city, and just get people together. Let's make a change. Let's make a difference.
Right.
But Drag Bingo is my one main thing, and I love it. And Drag Story is the other one, because it's a nonprofit as well. So our fiscal agent is near West Theater, and that's our main home for Drag Story Hour, and we love it there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a wonderful program. So community outreach is great. So again, here I am. I'm out and about doing good things for those who need it.
You give back so much.
It's necessary. To me, it's necessary. It's part of who I am.
Yeah.
Hey.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. You are someone that I admire, look up to, because loving yourself is what matters first and foremost. And you do love yourself. I can feel it. And I applaud you for everything that you're doing and that you've been through, and the strength and resilience that you show. You are an inspiration, Veranda.
And I can say ditto to you too.
Yeah. Will you do my makeup?
Sure, let's do it.
I'm not kidding. One day, if they allow
One
me,
day.
can I have Veranda as a makeup person?
Oh, look out. Look out.
You'll give me lip liner that, I might not hear the end of it for weeks.
Just send them my way. I'll take care of it.
Well, I can't wait. I'm going to come watch you perform.
Please do. We'd
Yeah.
love to have you in the audience.
I would love to be there.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you, dear.
Highways of love. What's she gonna be? Are you gonna
I think it's fun if you just put the canned applause in.
For some, my stomach just growled, sorry. Lunch after the show.
Right. Let us just live our lives the most abruptly, authentic way we can.
Beautifully spoken. You're a beautiful person.
Yeah, well, I just put a little something on.
I brought the wig.
Yeah.